As I said, initially they've been saying that, oh, the president is only thinks that Kenyans need Mujengo jobs. Your Excellency, the difference here is leveraging large economies of scale. There are people who have said, stop the housing, focus on manufacturing, focus on jobs. What they don't realize is that you can't manufacture for nothing. You must have a consumptive demand. And the consumptive demand is providing dignity to every Kenyan. And as we solve the problem of dignity, you've then anchored the manufacturing program that we need. Your Excellency, very soon, and maybe before the end of this month, we now are going to move, and people will see, we have got the total lifts or elevators demand in this country, as we see it right now, before this program, was 750 elevators a year for this country. When we hit 100,000 units, our lift demand is 1,650, only for affordable housing program. And as we sit right now, it is over 2,750. That is what we're going out on tender on. And the question then is, should we just import the lifts, or should we now actually have a conversation that certain components of those lifts can be done here? Because, Your Excellency, if we go out there and we entice these lift manufacturers, and I've sat with them, many of them, and they said, PS, if you can guarantee me 300 lifts a year for the next couple of years, I'm going to set up here. So we've got 2,750. We've got over 1,500 genset generators, because every one of these homes, Your Excellency, are going to have a backup generator. You know, because we're going up. So we don't want, when there is no power, people cannot be able to use the elevators. So, and I'm using that because, Your Excellency, the Mujengo jobs are important, because what we need in this country, we need to create jobs. But we also must talk about high quality jobs. And there is no better space to create high quality jobs. Like, if we start manufacturing components of lifts, because it will take a while before the entire lift is manufactured here, but that is a step that we have taken. But there are certain components of lifts that we're going to manufacture here in Kenya. There are certain components, Your Excellency, there is already a company, in fact 3 of them, that have gone and brought Korean technology called aluminium formwork that is going to reduce the amount of work. That company called Kumkang Gang, they have said that they want to come and set up. They have their international plant is in Vietnam. They want to set up in Kenya if we can be able to guarantee them the demand. Now, to make those formworks, Your Excellency, that is highly engineered works. So, Kiteme and your team, there is better quality jobs that are coming. So I think, Your Excellency, I thought this is important to emphasize that by leveraging large economies of scale, first we're starting to mop up all the people who are looking for jobs. When you look at the people who are going through TVETs, plumbers, all the trades from plumbing, and you can talk about that, Your Excellency, we're going to mop them up. So, Your Excellency, we are very proud, as my chairman, I didn't know Jerry can preach a bit, but as he has said, this is a plan that you have refused to let go. Despite the names, despite the memes, I don't know whether there's anybody who has more memes than yourself. But as he has said, that history will judge you well, because you're on the right side of history, and it is the right thing to do. So with those remarks, Your Excellency, next. Okay, Your Excellency, my cabinet secretary has said that I allow my colleagues just to say a word. And then, so I'll start with Joel, and then Nixon you'll invite the Waziri. Thank you so much. God bless you all for coming.
Your Excellency, the President, Cabinet Secretary, my colleagues, and all the build environment professionals, good morning. First, this program, Your Excellency, is a landmark in the built environment. At Public Works, we initiated a process to review the 1968 building code, we have a new building code that aligns very well with the affordable housing programs. The issue of technology is embedded in the code. The materials, the previous code was very prescriptive, and this one will support the affordable housing. You've been going around the country, Your Excellency, talking about jobs, creation of jobs. And the architects, quantity surveyors, engineers, which is domiciled in our State Department, you have been marketing, and we are grateful for that. You initiated TFETs when you were the Minister for Higher Education. The TFETs are churning out so many professionals in this line. And now this is the right time to utilize the skills used in a very concise program. We are happy that you are in the lead, and we are ready to implement this program with all the efforts. And we promise that through now the Affordable Housing Board, Public Works is also ready to implement or to support all the programs that we have the professionals, and we will support you, Your Excellency. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Mine is just to say what Hinga said about land fragmentation. And I think this is something that we've been discussing with my Waziri in regards to how do we tackle land fragmentation. And I think the issue of affordable housing is a big solution to this problem that we've had for a very long time. Because I remember, Your Excellency, when I was an MP, we tried to bring this issue of how do we tackle this land fragmentation, and became a lot of politics. And many people thought because some of us could afford to buy big lands, we were not interested in supporting the Kenyans who couldn't afford to buy big lands. But it is important to know that we have a big problem as a country on how do we tackle the issue of the land fragmentation. And this issue of affordable housing is coming to sort this problem. I want to also to indicate the importance of affordable housing when it comes to the land sector. We are employing many registrars as we speak. I think we are employing additional registrars, we are employing additional surveyors, we are employing additional valuers. It is because of the housing program that we now have to sort the issue of land ownership and the issue of sectional titles, Your Excellency, has been an issue that we've talked about for a very long time. And because of affordable housing, and we are now building more houses, Your Excellency, the issue of sectional titles, Your Excellency, the issue of
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my Principal Secretary, Hinga, Charles Hinga, Principal Secretary, Joel Arumanyo, Public Works, Principal Secretary, Lands, heads of various professional bodies that have brought us, that really are the key in this particular meeting, Your Excellency. Some of them are presidents, others are chairmen, and of course we have the, yes, you know, before, Your Excellency, there was only one president. the presidents of the Republic of Kenya in this country have graciously agreed to share, because the Constitution of the Republic also allows the space to be shared. And therefore, Your Excellency, we know when I came in, I looked at this particular platform and I said that we are still having a problem with the gender gender application rules, because, and I know that I think it is something that we think it is small, but it is huge. Because when you look at the population, Your Excellency, women are 52%, around 51, 52%. And therefore, it is important that we take those issues seriously. And because today, Your Excellency, we were coming here because of the program for the internship. I think the internship program here will pick the data very well, because we are talking of largely new graduates in this building sector. And therefore, it is good that we look and see whether we are making good progress. Because, Your Excellency, the university will be a key player. The universities will be a key player in the building sector work. And I think because before the numbers were made to cater for the work that we had. But you see, I don't know whether we have actually, we need to, in terms of policy now, have a very deep conversation with the universities, our institutions, and so that we see what is the curriculum looking like. Because we are saying we don't want anybody without really the necessary paperwork. And that's why we have also agreed that even our artisans are entitled, the ones who did not go to formal colleges are entitled to certificates. And that program, Your Excellency, is going on very well. NCA, Public Works is supporting that program, and Hinga is working closely with them. The professionals that Your Excellency have made us come here, the numbers are 4,000. And when you look at the list, Your Excellency, we are talking of 260 in number for each discipline. Your Excellency, then the total number is 4,000. If every ministry, Your Excellency, finds space and ability, capacity to channel out similar or maybe near numbers like that, and every ministry, Your Excellency, is going out of our way, come up with those kind of internships. And therefore, maybe this is maybe the beginning, Your Excellency. One of your, your programs is that, Hinka said, if you haven't spoken, it's one of the professionals. The first is job, the second job priority, the third is job creation priority. Your Excellency, I'm quite happy that this is taking off. And the only concern, and I was speaking with Hinga, is then after 1 year, what do we do? So that's why the professionals seated here can also be part of the job creation. I don't know how many people they have, or the jobs that are supposed to be done by others after we have allowed them this space. So you must be able to think outside the box so that once these jobs are available, these students, these new graduates, these new interns, they will have quite hands-on experience, and it is up to all of us to be able to absorb them. After that, we don't want to leave them to the government. But Your Excellency, the value chain, looking at the value chain, I was challenging these people that I don't see huge consortiums, because I keep on speaking with the professionals. They call me for their either annual conferences and their meetings. And I can feel they have not appreciated the growth, the sudden growth and the space and what the opportunities are looking like. And I have told them, for example, when we spoke with Hinga during the Mukuru, when we were waiting for you to arrive during the Mukuru, we said, how are we going to be able to meet the demand for the lifts? And we said, Hinga, just think through. I mean, why should we give other countries? This work is huge for manufacturing of the lifts. And therefore, not just the lifts, there are many things that will, in terms of value chain, that need manufacturing here locally, Your Excellency. And it's not one manufacturer. If we are talking about 1,800 lifts, for all these buildings, we are going to 20th to 25th floor, Your Excellency. Each has a lift. So in Mukuru alone, we have 88 blocks, Your Excellency. Those are 88 lifts. Now in Lerwe, I think we have another city there, maybe a similar number of blocks everywhere, Your Excellency. So we don't even need one manufacturer here, as you are discussing. It's not one manufacturer. It is maybe 2, 3 manufacturers. The cement industry, Your Excellency. We need more manufacturers of cement. And looking at the numbers of bags, one floor, Your Excellency, when you go there, they tell you they need 5,000 bags of cement for just one base, one floor of one building. And the building is going to 21 floors. So the opportunities have not been appreciated. The professionals need to embrace, need to identify fully, come up with those manufacturing. Why are we bringing people from outside? Even if we bring people to help you or to work with us, I think I would want, and the president, the country would want to see professionals in this area doing that manufacturing. That's not, I mean, you must know how to do, to manufacture cement. I think what is important is now then where do we get the funding, the investment? Your Excellency, this is your day, I don't want to speak much. I'm looking at the numbers that are here, Your Excellency. In terms of infrastructure, I think that is the other area that we need to think. And Hinga and PS Nixon were discussing about the infrastructure required to support the titling of 200,000 units. And that infrastructure will also require more professionals in that area. We will require space for that area. And then the other day I was challenging also the lawyers, Your Excellency. These people are not understanding. I see my law society, my society also fighting the program. Your Excellency, we are creating 200,000 conveyancing documents. Each of those conveyancing documents will have and bear a stamp of an advocate. Majority of those people will look for loans. So it means there will be also a mortgage somewhere. That is a job done by lawyers, both internal lawyers for maybe banks and external lawyers. In other words, the jobs are not just for the interns. The whole value chain can be appreciated. The professionals need to be, we are the objects of, I don't want to use a strong word, but we are the objects of this objection by particular people. Maybe His Excellency himself, PS Hinga, and the CS. But you are not objects of this. You are the people who should move this now to the space of the public so that the program is spread far and wide. And therefore, I don't want to go beyond that. But I'm extremely excited to announce, Your Excellency, that this program we have already secured, Treasury has already approved this program. So even as you announce these jobs, Your Excellency, Treasury has secured 1.5 billion for this internship. And obviously, I think we have time there then to think and see where these interns go after the 12 months. We don't want to leave them outside, to leave them after that. The other thing is that obviously everybody knows about the Juakari. I think the professionals should be loud and clear on how much also has been secured for the professionals, especially the consultancies, Your Excellency. And because it's not the Juakari alone that are benefiting. And finally, Your Excellency, we would want to see the country, other countries are not talking about 200,000. Of course, in Africa, Your Excellency, I can confirm as your CS, in Africa, maybe South Africa may be a little ahead of us, but I think we have overtaken them, Your Excellency. We will be leading in Africa in terms of the number of units that we channel out. So go, and do not listen to the obstructions and negative remarks from people who want to fight with a program that has taken off, and there is no way this program, Your Excellency, in this country, that it will fail. Where we are, Your Excellency, this is a baby who is running. It's not a baby who is crawling. This is a baby on the track running, and we must reach the end goal. We must touch the end of the rope, or the rope where we are headed, and that is by ensuring that we have 200,000 units per year, a minimum of 200,000 units. The investment in this industry, then, Your Excellency, means that we would have much more. We could even double or triple, and I believe that in the next maybe 1 year, Your Excellency, your energy and our energy should be now driven towards ensuring that investors now come on board. We are able to offtake because of the fund. We are able to give guarantees so that we can actually leave the construction to these people here and the people who, so that we can just continue with the policy ourselves and leave now the program to investors. With those remarks, join me to bring our President to launch the internship program under the Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Good morning, everybody. Karibuni sana. Let me say the following. First, let me welcome all of you to this early morning meeting. It's not by fault that it is called. You know, Nairobi is what it is during this time of the year. Karibuni sana. Secondly, let me take this very early opportunity to thank all of you, professionals in the built environment. I know here we have architects, we have quantity surveyors, we have engineers of all shades, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineering, the people in design, and everything in between. And let me say to you, on behalf of this administration, thank you very much for your partnership. I recognize and appreciate that you stepped forward when I asked you and became part and partners with us in this affordable housing program. Wacha niseme asante sana. We had long hours of engagement. I remember many of you remember we had many meetings in room number 6 there. Are there some people here who are in room number 6? Hebu nione kwa mkono. Those people. There was a lady there. Where is she? Who took over from her? Oh, you did? Yes. So we had many hours of conversation on how to deliver on this very important program of housing. And I must say on my own behalf first, and on behalf of this administration, that the built environment professionals, the architects, engineers, and the consulting firms in general came through and became partners. And today, whatever success is there in the housing program, we share with the consulting firms, with the professionals in that space, and I recognize your contribution and say thank you very much. As has been said here by the good people who spoke ahead of me, we have now 39 consulting firms participating, 39 consortiums with almost 200 companies participating in the affordable housing space. I will want to have another meeting with all these 200 companies. I want to listen to them, what they have to say. Because the truth of the matter is that many of your companies were struggling before the affordable housing program. That is the truth. Okay, you were managing. Yeah, you were managing. Let me not use the word struggling, maybe. Yeah, many of you were managing. But today, your scale has grown. Today, you have regular, consistent, work across different parts of the country. And that's why I say you are partners and you share in the success of the affordable housing program. I wanted to say this directly to you so that you know that I appreciate your partnership, your contribution, and the expertise that you have brought into this space with a lot of commitment. If I was asked among patriotic Kenyans that have made a contribution to the development of our nation, I will recommend the professionals in the built environment. If there are patriotic Kenyans who have gone beyond the call of duty, I know we negotiated your fees. You don't get the fees that normally you would. And you did this because you are patriotic Kenyans and you want to support this program and you want this program to succeed. But I can also add and say, but you have also scale of work that you have never witnessed before. That's the truth. So there is a balance. You have negotiated your fee, we negotiated your fee a bit, but also you have a wider scope of what to do. And that is why, from your own admission, you've had to hire more people, you need more staff, you've hired more professionals to join your companies and to join the professional space that supports this affordable housing program. And I also want to say to you, thank you very much for taking on board more young people to join your firms to support this affordable housing program. Nasema asante sana. Transformation is not an easy exercise. Transforming a country takes courage, it takes vision, it takes foresight, it takes commitment. It doesn't come easy. If it was easy, many would do it. Why haven't we taken 60 years to do the housing program that we always knew was the right thing to do? I remember the Prime Minister of Singapore, a country we fondly quote. Oh, Singapore has done this. Singapore today, 95% or whatever, 90-something percent of people in Singapore are homeowners. I had a chat with the Prime Minister of Singapore here when he visited me. And it wasn't easy for them to implement the program that today in the third world. The difference between them being first world and us remaining where we are is the kind of leadership and the decisions that were made in 60 years. And that is why I can proudly tell you, as professionals in the built environment, as you deploy your expertise and knowledge and professional work into this space, you are making history. You are contributing to the transformation of our country. And somebody said here, so much gets done if people are not bothered about who takes the credit. But it also means it depends on who takes the blame. In this particular case, you know who takes the blame, and I think that is precisely why Hinga was saying that in this space we need to speak as Kenyans. We must reject this negativity. Our country is a great country, my friends. Let nobody lie to you. You know, when you hear people speak, it is as if Kenya is the worst country in the world. Far from it, I can tell you. We are a great country. Not many countries can achieve what we have achieved. Not many countries can achieve what we have achieved in housing in 1.5 years. Yes, we are a great country. And we must reject those who want to tell us otherwise. That, oh, you know, Kenya is a failed state. Which failed state? Where? Do you know what a failed state looks like? So, let me tell you that my commitment to the transformation of this country is not reversible. Nothing is going to stop me from driving the transformation that is going to change Kenya and take us where we have always wanted to go. From stabilizing the economy, and I want to assure you that we are working meticulously to make sure that our economy is sound. I am very clear in my mind what we need to do on making sure that we have a sound economic platform to work on to drive our transformation. You know, many people want simplicity, you know. They even don't believe in numbers. But friends, numbers are very stubborn. Truth is very stubborn. You can say all the lies you want, but the truth will not change. Our inflation was at 9.6 in 2022. Today is 3.8. Fact. Our dollar had gone to 165. Today it is 130 and coming down. Fact. Our foreign exchange reserves was $7 billion in 2022. Today it is $10.8 billion. Fact. You can say whatever you want to say, but facts are stubborn. The IMF a month ago said Kenya's economy is now the 6th largest economy in the world, in Africa, sorry, the 6th largest economy in Africa. It is a fact. It's not a rumor. It's not propaganda. It is a fact. So, and I am committed to making sure that we have a solid. I have had to make very difficult decisions to get us here. And I have no regret whatsoever that today I can confidently tell the country that our economy is on sound footing. And we are going to improve on it. We've not yet reached where I would want us and our economy to be. We're making the right steps. We are making interventions. We are making decisions on how to align our economy so that we can be able to predictably see what the future looks like. I am very clear in my mind on what we need to do with our agriculture to make sure that we create a food security system, deal with inflation, deal with the cost of living, make sure that the cost of food does not cause a crisis. 60 years after independence, we must be sure about food security in Kenya. And we must make the right decisions. And I'm very proud that we have, for example, reduced the cost of importation of sugar by 80%. We have reduced the cost of importing maize by 80%. We will shortly be a sugar exporting country because we are making the right policy decisions. We have increased our production of milk. We have increased our production of tea. We have increased our production of coffee, and we are driving productivity in the agricultural space so that we have food security and so that we can export more and create more foreign exchange. These are things that keep me awake because it is one assignment that I have undertaken that I must do for this country. It is not always that you get an opportunity to be president. Yes, it comes once in a lifetime. So when you get that opportunity, don't waste it, right? Because I hear so many people saying, you have taken on too many assignments. You know, you should do some of these now, you should wait, you remain popular so that you can implement some of them some other time. Let me tell you, good people, the transformation of Kenya has delayed for far too long. We cannot wait for a day more, or a week more, or a month more. Let's do it now and transform our country. Let the others, we can pick up the others as we go. Are we together? So I am very clear in my mind, and that brings me to housing. I know we're discussing here about, and that is the essence of us having this meeting this morning. The housing program, not just affordable housing, because we have an array, we have a whole stock of social housing. We have a whole stock of affordable housing. We have also market housing that responds to everybody out there. This whole housing program, yes, is about housing, is about dignity, is about making sure that we eliminate slums, is about making sure that citizens live in decent neighborhoods with water, with electricity, with proper sewage system, making sure that there are all the other social amenities with schools, with hospitals, recreational grounds, and everything in between. That's it. But it is also about creating job opportunities and inspiring our manufacturing sector. And I am clear in my mind that these are priorities that we must achieve. But for us to be able to achieve these priorities, we must be deliberate. We must be intentional. It will not just happen. We must be focused on how do we create jobs. Because one of the assignments that I have, and I hear many people remind me every day, is that when I went to the campaign trail, I promised the people of Kenya that we have a plan on how to create jobs. And yes, we do. And we are very well on course on making sure that we create jobs. I can say confidently, we have never had a clear plan as a nation on how to create jobs as we do today. And that's why I'm bringing you here as professionals. What do I want us to achieve? I want us to achieve the following. Number one, we have your farms. We have 200 companies here. My instructions to the ministry is that because of the scale of the exercise we have in housing, we need to scale up the number of companies that are participating in this environment. Because when we started, we had to start with a few, 39 consortia. We now need to take that to between 60 and 70. So we will be bringing on board more companies, more professional companies, engineering firms, architects, we will be bringing design companies, and all the other real estate professionals, and we'll be bringing them on board. And Madam Waziri here and the ministry will now embark on the exercise of bringing on board more, because we've had many people who are saying, we want to participate. We now understand what is going on in this space. We want to be part of the delivery of our housing program, because people are beginning to see what the noise prevent them from seeing before. So that is number one. And I want to ask the chairman who are here, both from the Institution of Architects and Engineers. Is it Architects and Quantity Surveyors? Yes, together with the other professional bodies, to work with us so that we can bring on board more firms, because the scale of work that we have today has overstretched many of the companies that are working with us. That's number one. Number two, we want to bring on board another 4,000 professionals into this space. Young graduates from our TVETs, from our universities, to work with you and your firms and work with us so that we can scale up the level of supervision, scale up and accelerate the work that we want to achieve in the Affordable Housing Program, because we believe that it is possible for us to do what could be done in 2 years, we can do it in 1.5 years. And what could be done in 1.5 years, we can reduce it to 1 year, so that we can accelerate the delivery of the Affordable Housing Program, of our markets, of our hostel program, and all the other programs that are in this space. That's number two. So we are bringing on board and hiring another 4,000 graduates, fresh graduates from our universities and TVET, to work with us under your firms so that you can supervise them. You can, and we're going to work out a framework where you take responsibility for what they do, and also make sure that they acquire the skills in the marketplace with your supervision, with your support, so that they can acquire the knowledge that is necessary, the competencies that are necessary, the skills that will make them professionals in their space as we create more companies, because I am very sure that your companies will be scaling up. These are the people who you will recruit into your firms. These are the people who will create new firms to work with us in this built environment space. Number three, because the whole housing program is now maturing, you know, there is greater understanding, there is built synergy, we now believe that we should be able to scale up not just the professionals that are working in your consulting firms, but also the people working in our housing program, in our markets, and in our hostel program. we need to scale up the numbers. The people working there, the engineers who are working there, the architects who are working in there, the professionals, technicians, plumbers, carpenters, and everybody else working there. So my instructions again to the ministry and in collaboration with yourselves is that we need to double the numbers. Today we have close to 320,000 people working in the housing program. We need to double those numbers by creating another shift, so that, as was said by one of the good people here, we will have 6 to 1 and 1 to 6. So that we have, I think we'll have 8 hours between 6 to 1 and 1 to 6. 6 in the morning to 1 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I think that creates us a good balance and then you people will help us, discuss how that is going to be realized, so that we can carry on board the many professionals that are coming out of our TVETs and our universities. We have many plumbers coming out. We have many carpenters. We have many electricians, many other people in between, the people who are in that space. And yet we also have a lot of young people out there yearning for something to do. So again, my instructions to the ministry, working in collaboration with yourselves, and to now reorganize the space so that we can scale up the number of people working in our housing program from 320 to 600,000. That we can do in the next 2 to 3 months, working with the contracts that already exist. And I am very confident that this will not only accelerate the delivery of our plan, it will also create a bigger momentum for the delivery of this whole program, because many more Kenyans out there are asking, how do we take this into the future? Architects and engineering graduates will join your planning and design teams, which already are working with us. Quantity surveyors and economists will support cost estimation, value engineering, and all the things that we need to make sure that this moves faster, but with a lot of clarity. We'll also be looking at lawyers and planning interns who will assist with land regularization. You have heard what Nixon has said here, and the whole documentation space. As Alice said, the more sectional titles we need, because every unit is now going to have a separate title document. So that whole space requires more hands, more people with knowledge and expertise, and we can grow a bigger pool of professionals to run with you and to work with you in that space. We also want to do, apart from that whole space of making sure that we double the number of people working in the housing space. A fifth thing we need to do under this program is to professionalize what we are calling the Jua Kali. I agree with you that those people in that space called Jua Kali are no longer Jua Kali. I was explaining the other day that right here in Soweto, is it? We gave them a contract of 720 million shillings. Which Jua Kali has a contract of 720 million? How many serious companies, corporates, get a contract of 700 million? Not many, So to call them Jua Kali is actually a misnomer, and it is not right. So what we want to do is to bring on board technical staff to now work with the Juakali sector to formalize what has for a very long time been informal. We will hire professionals to work with the Juakali people so that we can now scale them up to become serious entities, even though they could be micro or small enterprises. But we want them in that space where they do professional work. We've had a long discussion with them, and if you listen to some of them, the quality of what they are making is improving. Because today, they are not doing one window. They are doing 1,000. So because they are doing 1,000, they have improved, and we have insisted. You know, if you listen to them speak, now they are saying, we told them, and we told the contractors that we are not going to import things that we can manufacture in Kenya. But the fact that it is local doesn't mean low quality. It cannot be, you know. So yes, we are going to have it local, but it has to be as of the quality as the one that we would have imported. That is the discussion we have with them. And for us to make sure that the people who are local manufacturers produce quality that is not substandard, high quality products, we want to support them with professionals to work with the Juakali people so that we improve on the quality of what they are producing, whether it is windows, whether it is doors, whether it is hinges, and everything else that we have around that built environment, which we have said will not be imported. They will be manufactured locally, but high quality products manufactured locally to build the capacity of our local professionals now in the Juakali sector, to scale them up so that they can produce high quality products. And for your information, today they are very different from what they were producing before. Because the other thing we have done is to standardize the products in this space. When you standardize products, then you can produce them en masse. And when you produce them en masse, you can standardize what you're producing. And that is the space what we want to do with this program. From where we have reached, now we need to take it a step further so that we can work with the Juakali people and make sure that we improve the quality of what they are producing. I am saying this to you as professionals so that you can work with us, you know, as the firms that are working with us in this space, to make sure that we don't compromise on quality. Even as we localize production, quality must remain what it should be. We will also be looking at, as part of this exercise, hiring management graduates who will also support in our project delivery, because this is a big project. We also contractor oversight, because we have so many contractors. And also, the beautiful thing about this project is that the many companies that now are growing, and we've been deliberate in trying to make sure that we grow local construction companies. The beautiful thing about this project that makes me very proud is that all the 170,000 housing units that are under construction, that construction is being undertaken by local contractors. You know? So we are also developing a pool of serious local contractors. We are building their capacity by exposing them, giving them work. Sometimes when they struggle, we support them so that as we build bigger companies, out of professional engineering companies and architectural companies. We are also building construction companies that are local, that will undertake this exercise, but also we want to look at the future. You know, we want to build companies that can also undertake regional projects. You know, once you have a CV that says you have supervised 1,000 or 5,000 housing units, you have a good CV to take to another place, and you can also work globally. So these are the things, the 5 or so things that I want us to achieve using this program, and it is the reason why I wanted us to have this conversation so that we can move together in tandem. The ministry here is going to work with you as the frontline office of government, but also we're going to work with all the counties to make sure that we accelerate all the other requirements, documentation, and work with artisans, bring on board all the aspects of work that is required as we do all the other things that we are doing. And apart from this exercise, which is important to me in terms of creating opportunities for young people in Kenya, these 4,000 professionals that will be hired will join another big pool of professionals who already work with you in your companies. And I want to encourage you to provide opportunities, because these young people will be working under you, under your companies, under your supervision and tutelage, that you assist them to acquire necessary skills and provide them opportunities for jobs as we look into the future and as we build stronger companies, local companies, through you, through the contractors and all the other people that are working with us in that space. Of course, we have also other interventions that we are working, not just in this space. But this is a very important space for me, because apart from creating opportunities for work, we are making real impact on people. We are transforming lives of people. We are changing the destiny of many citizens. People who never imagined that they would one day own a house. That owning a house is a present reality for many of them today. Some of them are beginning to realize their lifelong aspiration to own a place they call a home that belongs to them. You know, you'll be surprised that there are things we take for granted. You know, the biggest thing I saw in Mukuru that was, you know, out of this world is that the people moving from the slums, where 3, 4, 5 families share one toilet for pay, the biggest thing they said was, for once, I have a toilet to myself. You know, you people, you know, you have 4, 5 toilets in your house. You take that for granted. You don't think about it. You know, go share a toilet with another 2, 3 families, and then you will know the indignity of what that means, you know, and how important it is for us to run this program. You know, I keep hearing people who keep talking, oh, this housing program, who said, who told you we need houses, everybody has their own house. You know, you may think everybody has their own house. That is not true. There are 7 million Kenyans living in slums, sharing toilets with no water, with no electricity, with no roads. You know, we should be sensitive about what we say. So, good people, you know I'm very passionate about this. Very. You know, I'm very passionate about this because I know what impact it makes on people's lives. Because it makes a world of a difference for us to run this program. And I am very confident that this program is going to succeed, and we are going to transform our nation in a phenomenal way. This country is going to change when we are here, when we are seeing. Just watch this space, you know. The transformation that is going on in Kenya, from Mukuru to Mandera to Mombasa to Kisumu to every big town in Kenya today. And it's just 1.5 years. Just imagine what's going to happen in 10 years. How is Kenya going to look like in 15 years, in 20 years of this program? This country will change. We don't need miracles. We don't need magic. We just need to do this. You know, what we are doing consistently, persistently, until it is done. And you can count on my support 100%, making sure that this happens. We must do this for the millions of young people who are looking for work to do. We must do this for the transformation of our country. We must do this so that people can be homeowners. And you see, Hinga and Waziri here have told you, we have a pipeline of 700,000 houses that we already have identified where to build. We have a shortage of 2 million houses. And it is growing. So we are going to be on this affordable housing for the next 20 years before we can meet. Because as we are building, we are chasing a moving target. Because the numbers every day are increasing of people, and urbanization is not an option. 50%, maybe 60% of our population in Kenya will be living in urban areas. And it is not just a Kenyan phenomenon. It is a global phenomenon. And it is the reason why we must prepare ourselves. Either we will have urbanization that is disorganized, where people are going to live in squalor, or we organize it ahead of time and live in a place that we can all be proud of. And I want to encourage all of you that let's focus on what we need to do. I am happy to have a conversation on how best we can deliver this program. I am happy to listen to you as professionals in this space, in the built environment, on how you think we can do this better. I know there will be a conversation about fees. I know you want us to have a conversation about fees. But before we have a conversation, and I have no issue, I will want to have that conversation. But I want us to have that conversation in the context of how do we make this program much more cost-effective? How do we make this program, how do we accelerate the delivery of this program? I am happy to have a conversation. If you promise me that we can do this faster, we can do this better, we can do this much more cost-effectively, we can discuss the fees. Yeah, I have no problem, because this is, and I must say, really, I appreciate. I don't take it for granted that the professionals in this space were patriotic, and they said, "Look, we are willing to take a lower percentage so that we can be part of delivery of this very important program." And you also accept that this program has expanded your business. You are hiring more people. You are making more money, to be honest, than you were making before. That's the truth. Vile tu hamtaki kusema. You know? and all the other good things that we are working together. And I am happy if you're making money, because you're making money in Kenya, because ultimately you will pay taxes and we are all going to be all good. So that's good. We need to encourage, we need to help, to assist you, let me put it that way, and work with you so that your enterprises are successful. You also are successful, because in your success is the collective success of Kenya. You hire more young people, you do better what you're doing, invest more in your country, and build more capacity for all of us to be able to move forward. So apart from this program, of course, we have our digital jobs program, where we are building commerce, we are building digital jobs, we are getting Kenyans to work for global companies in our BPOs and all the other business processing outsourcing companies that are there. We are also working on a global workforce. That is what Kenyans are good at. And we are placed more Kenyans in different parts of the world to contribute their talent and expertise as a global workforce. But this program not only gives us jobs, but also builds our country. So this is very significant, and it is very important to me, and that is why we are scaling it up. Scaling it up at the level of professional firms, scaling it up at the level of contractors, scaling it up at the level of professionals working at our sites, and scaling it up as all the people who are working in our housing program. So with those many remarks, let me say I am very happy that this morning we are having a productive conversation on how to create more jobs, build stronger companies, and build capacity and momentum for us to be able to create decent living conditions for the people of Kenya, and afford as many Kenyans as we can the opportunity to be home owners as we work together in this space. So we will continue, and I want to promise you, as I do to the people of Kenya, we will continue engineering, our success. We will continue with great innovation, insight, and foresight to make sure that we get our nation moving. And I am all in making sure that Kenya changes. And I am intentional, I am deliberate, and I am clear in my mind that we will change Kenya for the better in our lifetime. As long as we believe in ourselves, and as long as we don't buy into unnecessary negativity that doesn't take our country anywhere. We have no other country. We must get this one working. This is our responsibility. We must get it working. And we have the best country, I can tell you. We just need to get it doing the right thing.